Hi, and welcome back to the Knitting Eillets Podcast. This is episode 24. I am Saskia, a 37-year-old knitter from Switzerland, currently living in France, near the border, like in between two villages, Swiss villages. There's a kind of a peak of the French border, and I'm living there, so really close to Switzerland. Like I can walk 5 minutes and I'm in Switzerland. So yeah, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to see you again, or that you can see me again. I'm not actually seeing you. And yeah, I have loads to tell you, loads of stuff, loads to show you, and yeah, some finished objects actually. Although I didn't have that much time for knitting this month. Part of it was because the garden used up a lot of my time. There's a lot of harvesting to be done now. Then school started back in Switzerland already, so I started with a new class. It's the second week and I'm dead at the end of a school day because it's a fourth grade again and they ask questions and questions and questions all day. So I need a lot of patience and I need a lot of energy kind of getting the class started, so I'm very tired. Then I spent some time at the hospital, only 4 hours, but my partner got his wrist back to normal, so without all the metal they put into it in October when he had the accident. He was on the Vespa and the car crashed into him, and he broke his wrist several times, so they had to put like a lot of metal plates and screws and stuff in it. And that came out now, so I had time to knit that whilst I was driving him and waiting and getting him back. And I also had to go to the emergency. As you can see, I managed to cut my shoulder on our letterbox, which has a really big granite stone on top of it. And it has really sharp edges, and I was kind of pulling weeds from side and behind the letterbox. And I didn't watch the stone and it sliced my shoulder up. It was really not very nice to look at. And now it's glued together, so this stuff here that is coming off at the moment is glue, is special skin glue. So yeah, Sunday evening we were on the emergency and they glued me back together. So quite a week we had, quite some weeks. But now let's get started with the podcast. I am wearing the Hope top. I will not tell too much about it now because I think a big part of the last episode was about this top because it was my finished object then. So this is the Hope top by Dulu Muck or Dulu MUC. I'm not sure how to pronounce it still. In pure silk. It's a very simple top down top. That's a tongue twister. And it has this nice little cables here on the edges, which just gives it, it's a very simple top, but this just gives it a little bit of this romantic and lovely cutie style, which I love. You can easily wear a bra with it. It shows up a little bit here on the back, I have noticed, because the back is a bit smaller than the bra width, but I don't mind. I only mind if you can see it on the front. The back I don't care too much. So if you want to know more exactly and detailed about this top, please check out my last video, episode 23. Then another finished object, which I only had to do the sleeves. Well, only the second sleeve, to be honest, is my Tulip by Ririko in the wool from Wollspinnerei Vetsch, Felis, in this lovely dark crimson red. The color has a number, they don't have names, so I can't tell you right now because I don't have the ball band anymore. So I finished the sleeves and I blocked it and I did everything, and I love how the lace is looking. So nice, the lace part down the side. And what I changed, I did a first one of these sweaters. So I have two now, and they're a little bit different versions. And I explained also in the last episode what exactly I changed to the first one. One thing was the color, because the first one, the original pattern, has you start with the color and then just go over into the raglan. And I realized it kind of stretches out the color quite a lot, so I just started and added the color later. So this is a lot more strong. How do you say that? My English is nuts today. So I will quickly put it on so you can see how it looks. So I love how the neckline turned out. It's a nice open neckline, how I like it. No, wait, that's the wrong side, like that. So always with this left and right thing. So I love how this turned out. I love the fit. You can see I have not too much fabric under the arm. I love how the sleeve, the length turned out perfect. It's a bit loosey-goosey sleeve, but I like it because I will often do this, I guess, because it's a kind of a sweater I will wear during spring and autumn times, so when it could get quite warm. So I didn't want the sleeve cuffs to be too tight, so I can roll them up if I want to. The length is, let me show you how it looks here. So the length is quite like, here is my belly button, here is my hip bone, so it's quite on my hip bone actually, which is a length I like. And I can show you the lace detail here on the side. So yeah, it's a really nice. I just did a garter border on the sleeves, the collar, and the hem. So yeah, but it's a bit hot today for this one, so that's why I'm wearing the hope top. And let me take this off again. So this was my Tulip sweater, and I'm very happy with it, and I will wear it loads and loads of times because it's just so comfy. It's the silk merino, so it's very nice to wear on pure skin even, and I'm very sensitive. So if I can wear it on pure skin, I guess everyone can wear it on pure skin. Normally with all the wool sweaters, I have to wear a t-shirt or a long sleeve underneath, so it doesn't get itchy. And I cannot tolerate mohair at all. I think it's terrible. So, well, it looks nice, but from a big distance. I hate knitting with it. I hate wearing it. Oh, look at that. I get the goosebumps already thinking about the mohair. Oh. So I have another 2 finished objects, 2.5 actually. Also last time I had the first one of my dad's slipper socks finished. I have now the second one. They are twins. They are siblings, not twins. So yeah, I just restarted the ball where it was. The colored one is a yarn I got without a ball band, so I think it's a sock yarn something. And I held it with a dark blue Unicorn Solid by Hobbii, and I really love how this turned out with the pattern. So sometimes it's really like almost the same color, and then you have these flashes of colors in there, but always with the dark blue. I love it, and I'm very happy I can give them to him, and he has some nice cozy slipper socks for winter. Yeah, I have nothing to say more about this because I didn't follow a pattern. I just did my vanilla toe-up sock recipe and just did it bigger. I took notes the last time. It's a DK weight with these 2 fingerings held together, and I used the needle 3.5 millimeters. So it's quite a thin needle on quite a thick yarn, but it makes them really sturdy and warm. That is what I wanted. Then, quick reach to the backdrop. I will put them back later. These are one of them at least is my hospital sock because I had to bring my partner at 7 o'clock in the morning. He had to be in the hospital, and we have 3/4 hours, half an hour good drive, half an hour. And I had to wait for 4 hours until I could take him back. And in this hospital at the morning, I knew the restaurant was still closed and everything, so I knew I had to bring something to kind of keep me busy and not just like sit there and wait and look to the clock all the time. So I started a sock. I did the beginning, like the little toe until I finished increasing. I did the evening before that, because I thought maybe I'm a bit nervous and I don't want to start like fiddling around with the toe. I just want to be able to knit. And I knit almost the whole sock. I knit like to here, from here to here in these 4 hours. I took the Hermione's time turner, and I'm talking, because here's the time turn. That's why I got confused. Hermione's Everyday Socks pattern, the pattern there, which is a kind of a broken rip, I think. And I really love how it's looking. It's a really nice pattern, and I love what it does to this wool. The wool is I lost the ball band. So I quickly checked this out in the internet. It's the Lana Grossa about Berlin. So it's a kind of a pre-colored wool, and I really like the colors, and I actually bought it when we were in Berlin. So that is quite funny. So it's my Berlin socks now, and with the wool from Berlin, which is called About Berlin. I thought it was funny. So it's a Cashmere City, is it called, like the wool quality, I guess. It's 420 meters on 100 grams. No, sorry, yes, on 100 grams. And it's made with polyamide wool, merino wool, and cashmere. So it has a percentage of cashmere. I actually can't find how much. It's a bit of a strange page here. There it is. 70% wool, 25% polyamide, and 5% cashmere. And the wool is merino wool. So it's a really nice sock wool, and they are really, really soft. I first thought 5% cashmere. What? It's just for like marketing, like we have cashmere in it. But I think you can actually feel it when you're wearing it. They are really soft and kind of fluffy and squishy. Like it makes something with the wool, and I like it. Yeah, the first one, as I said, it's a vanilla toe-up sock recipe. Nothing special. I did a folded double cuff there, and I always sew them down because then I get a really nice stretchy. This one actually turned out a bit tight. This one is better. On the front of the foot, and then around after the heel, I did this Hermione's Everyday Sock broken rib pattern. I really love how they turned out, and I already wore them once because it was really cold, and yeah, that's my hospital socks. The second one I did the day afterwards at home, so I had, I think, these 2 socks in 3 days total. So that's quite good. Well, the third day was only like sewing down the cuff of the second sock or something, and if you add the little toe I did on the day before, I guess it was only an hour, 1.5 of the third day. The rest is all done in 2 days. So I'm getting quite fast at knitting socks, which I like. As always, I've knitted those on 2.75mm needles. I always take this because 2.5 is just too small for me. I don't like it, and I normally decrease. I decreased 4 stitches here, which is a bit much, so I only decreased 2 stitches here, which is better. But I stayed with the 2.75 all the way through. I don't care about changing needles for the cuff. So yeah, I always do a shadow wrap short row heel, which I really like. And it turned out so nice because of the green and the white there. It's quite nicely. It's how the wool turned out. I couldn't, like the other sock is like this, so I didn't match it up the right and totally correctly, but they turned out quite similar. But also they are siblings, not twins. So really lovely socks. I'm looking forward to wearing these. I will put them back behind me. Then I have a half-finished object, which I need to block first before I do the second one. And it is a fingerless mitten. You can see I did some ribbing on the top and just plain stocking it on the back, and it still looks very wonky, thin and small and long and a bit strange. I really have to kind of fuzz a bit around to get in, but then I think it looks very nice. It's quite tight yet, but I haven't blocked it yet, and I know that this one yarn will kind of loosen up. Also the thumb is quite tight, not too tight, but tighter, and I hate it when this kind of is so loose that it kind of flops down all the time. The whole point for me of having a fingerless mitt is that it keeps your fingers warm, and I always make them up to my knuckles here, and so the smallest finger is almost all in there, and the thumb, I like it to be very high up, so to really have warm hands. I don't like long cuffs because I normally have sweaters, jumpers, jackets or whatever that come up to the front. So yeah, I need to block this to see how it behaves, how it is afterwards, and if I take the same amount of stitches or if I increase 1 or 2 stitches or not. So that's why I haven't started the second one yet. It's knit on 3.5mm needles, and I used 2 yarns for that, held together. Let me show you. One is a Pasquale Suave extra light organic cotton. So it's a kind of a fluffy brushed cotton yarn, and it's so nice and fluffy. I love the color, and it's so soft. I made a Sophie scarf with it, and it relaxed a lot. So it kind of grew. I could almost close it with 2 turns around my neck, and now I have like quite long ends hanging down. It's okay, I'm fine with it, but it relaxes a lot. That's why I made this quite tight, and I'm keen to see how it behaves after I blocked it. To give it a bit more stability, I held I think it's Fibre Fox yarn, which I ordered last 2 years ago. I can't remember the color name. It was of this very popular calendar, like she had all the plant names, I think. And was something with raspberry or something, I don't know. So it's a really nice old rose colorway, and it has these darker spots in it, which I thought match really good to this darker red. And I like how it turned out. It's a marled, you can see it's marled, I like that. It's fingerless mitts, I love when they are a bit colorful, and yeah, I love the feel because the softness of this one, but the bit of sturdiness of this one is quite a good combination. And if I have a lot left, I only used 1 ball for a Sophie scarf. I might do a Sophie scarf like that, or another scarf, kind of scarflet. And I have kind of a set. Yeah. So it's quite a good combination, and I will start the second one as soon as I block this one, which I might do today. Let's go to whips, and it's at the same time also acquisitions, because you will see why. First, the whip with no acquisition. It's a raglan sweater I started. I show it to you first on this side. So I just separated for sleeves. You can see, wait a second, need more wool here. I haven't much, only like maybe 3 or 4 centimeters. So only separated for sleeves. It's a V-neck. And this is the right side. Can't see. But I actually prefer it inside out, so the pearl side to be out. And I intend to make a sweater. I'm trying to make a sweater that is reversible, so I could, it kind of doesn't matter which side I'm wearing it, like I could always just pop it off and on again. But I really love the pearl side. It's just so gorgeous, and I think I will kind of intend it to wear it the pearl side out. Of course, I'm knitting it inside out now so that I can do only knit stitches, because it's quite a work to do those stitches with these two wools. It's not an easy peasy knit, but it goes fast because it's quite thick and fluffy, and it's on 6mm needles compared to my Tulip on the 4mm needles. It's like never ending story. Here it's really fast. I mean, I started it and I came to like 2 evenings. I separated for sleeves and now I'm at the body part. So I will have a lot of wool left, I guess, and I will see what I will do with the rest of the wool. Maybe I gift it, maybe I do something else. We'll see. Maybe a little vest or something, like a really snuggly vest. Could also be nice. But this is a raglan top down, very simple, just 2 raglan lines, and I increase on each side of it. Nothing special because you really can't see it with that wool. And I had to, you remember maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago, I showed you the loads of swatches, how the lots of swatches are made. Because this wool here is like a big fluffy ball of yarn. This wool is kind of, I think they don't produce it anymore. It was a destock, and I got it like 50%, as you can see, so like 12 francs or 10 francs a ball, which is very cheap in Switzerland. It's 100 grams on 270 meters. They recommend needles 7 to 8, which I find is a bit loose. And it's called Phoenix Long, and it's merino. I chose the color because there were a lot, it was the only color that had enough balls of yarn left. They say you, as a woman, you need 3 of them. I took 4 because I never know, I always want to be sure and safe. The other colors only were 2 of them left. So for the longest time, I don't like that color. It's a bit, it's a beige, but it's kind of a beige. It's not like, this is a beige, I love it. This is bright beige, I love it. And this is kind of this greenish, darkish beige. It's quite yellowish. So with my skin tone, I thought it was too much alike. I didn't like it. So I wanted to, and I realized that this yarn will be extremely stretchy and extremely difficult to knit or something only with this yarn. So I wanted to hold something together with it. And I tried alpaca, brushed alpaca. I tried fingering weight. I tried different wools in DK fingering. And the color was actually quite hard to find because I tried different colors and sometimes it looked like Mettbrötchen, like sausage bread. Sometimes it looked like moldy bread. It was always like, I didn't like it. And I went to Forever Taiga Yarns with this wool and I said, I have a problem, I need a wool. And she was like, this could be a project for my silky bouclé. So this could be a nice project for a bouclé wool. And I was like, when I saw it hanging, I was like, yeah, it looks fun, but I would knit only something just with that. That's what it looks like, and it's really nice, colored and hand-dyed, of course, by Forever Taiga Yarns. It's silky bouclé, so it's 70% merino, 20% silk. Well, I guess that is a typo because that only gives 90%, so it must be 30% silk. And 400 meters, 100 gram, and I just love the color. It's the nice variation of browns, beiges. It looks a bit like coffee, like a latte macchiato with a bit of a chocolate powder on it. So yeah, that's what it's looking like pulled up. And I'm holding them together and I'm quite happy with the result because it just sasses up this kind of blunt and boring beige, especially when you turn it on the pearl side. I think it's even the bouclé stands out a bit more, and that's what makes it interesting, because you have all the variations of this bouclé, and this yarn gives it a nice kind of backdrop. Also, the bouclé is a bit shiny because of the silk, and the other one is very blunt and matte. It looks really nice, I think, and I like it like that. I am not yet sure about the color, because if I do a color in this combination, it will be like fluffy and puffy, and I'm afraid it will kind of stick out a lot. So I'm thinking about doing the collar and maybe the cuffs, maybe also the hem. I might do a combination of this with something else. So it's just like a normal DK wool. Otherwise it's just so puffy and fluffy, and I think when I do the cuffs it will felt quite, I think this wool will felt quite a lot. So I'm trying to prevent that on the cuffs. This is when you're on the desk writing, this is where my stuff felt. I don't mind it under the arms, and so like no one can see that, I don't care. Normally the back and everything is fine, and the front, but I don't like to have a puffy collar like standing out, and I don't like a hem kind of standing out, so I want something a bit smaller and finer there. So I'm not sure yet what I will do. If I have a fingering weight in a similar color maybe, and I take that one double or this one double and the fingering single, or yeah, I need to try that out. But I have a lot of time, I need to do the body and the sleeves first, so dealing with the problem when we get there. So, but I still have to hang this up, and I think I have a third one even, so I have loads of this. So I maybe could hold this one double and just top it up with a fingering in a bit of a beigey off-white thing. That might be very nice actually. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this will look at the end. So far I like it on the pearl side. I will turn it back now though, because I'm knitting of course on the right side. To start it, I don't follow a pattern because I had a 13 stitch gauge, and I didn't want to download a pattern just to see with how many stitches someone starts a raglan. I can do a top-down raglan with a v-neck without a pattern. And I did a top-down raglan with v-neck and everything. It's my cozy raglan sweater on my Ravelry page, and that was a 14 gauge stitch on 6.5mm needles. So I actually took the same numbers and just cast on exactly the same, and because it's a 13 stitch I thought it will be maybe a bit looser, which is fine. It should be a bit, I want it to be oversized, so yeah, that I can just throw it on and off and whatever. Yeah, I think the fit is quite nice so far, but I can't do like a really fluffy neckline or something. Yeah. But I want a neckline because it's a winter jumper. I don't want just an I-cord and then it's like open all the way. I really want it to be closed a bit more, like a small v-neck. So yeah, that's this. No, this. Yeah. I did put in some short rows, like just 2 times back and forth, only over the back, like getting shorter. Just 1 stitch before the raglan, it was the first one, and then 2 stitches further in, second one, and then I kind of could join after I joined the v-neck here. And I was very lucky. I joined the v-neck, I kind of twisted it. So I had it twisted, and I didn't realize until I was two rows down, but with 2 rows down you can go back these few stitches, and I could kind of turn it, and you just turn the thread, which is not that bad. So I could fix it. I was like, no, because unraveling this wool is a nightmare. Really, it's so sticky, and it holds together with the bouclé. You basically can't unravel almost, and it's a nightmare to count stitches. I mean, count this please. It's a fuzzy, fluffy, especially when it's kind of closed up together. You can't see where one stitch starts and the other ends. So it's a TV knit for me, but I really have to look that I kind of get the stitches. And it's not like the wool is quite strange. It's maybe because it's so different, the bouclé and the fluffy one, but it's very hard to get both of the wools, and kind of it's hard to make the stitch actually. I think it looks like a big teddy bear, and it will be my teddy bear sweater maybe, but but yeah, we will see how this will go. And actually this should be, I have one of my first raglan sweaters ever, top down with a v-neck, is oversized because I didn't know how to make it fit, and I thought we'll start with an oversized sweater. It doesn't matter how it looks like. I love like throwing it over to go into the garden or do something. And it shows it was made with a long Malou yarn, and it's pilling like crazy, and it has stains everywhere which don't go out anymore, and I can't kind of rub it because it will felt immediately. So yeah, it's several years old now too, so it's just a garden chicken. And yeah, when I made the fire in winter, I kind of touched the chimney in the inside of the fireplace, and it got black and everything. So yeah, it has a lot of stains on it, and it's really something just to wear it. I will wear it till it has holes and everything, but I will wear it outside as a really kind of a jumper in the garden when I do something and it's cold. I love wearing it there, and I don't mind if it gets dirty, but I want something a bit nicer when I go for a walk or maybe grocery shopping, but I don't want to be like fancy, and I just want to throw something over my... I sometimes would just throw this jumper over and kind of a skirt over my pyjama pants and go grocery shopping like this, like a long skirt. And I had like an underlayer of pyjama, and it was so cozy. And maybe I need another jumper for that, because the other one I really can't wear now to the grocery store. It's really gross. And so let's go to the last VIP, which is not actually yet a VIP. You might remember that in the last episode I told you I would want to start a Lauder vest next, because it's autumn, it can get quite warm. I don't want a huge jumper trying to knit on. I did a swatch with the wool I intended to use, and it did not work. So I wanted to use this really nice tweedy wool, which actually would look quite nice with this. So maybe I just found a wool I can hold with these for the cuffs and the hem and stuff. It's the Vegan Knits Naturally Hand-Dyed Fibers. It's a tweed, and 85% merino, 15% donegal. And I really love how this wool looks. It's a perfect beige. I love the speckles, everything. So I did a swatch for the Lauder vest. And as you can see, you can kind of see the cables, but the tweed just kind of swallows it up, so it didn't work. Because when I do the hustle of doing cable and this vest in cable knit, I want it to be visible and not like, are there cables in there? From far away you couldn't tell. From very close up you can't tell, but it didn't work. The gauge was way off. Honestly, I don't know how the Creabea does this. Like, she has, what was it, 22 stitches and a 3.5 needles. I mean, I was like, I think 4.5 millimeter needle with this. And I had too many stitches, like I had 28 or something. So I thought, okay, this wool is too thin. Also, I need a thicker wool to get to the 21 or 22 stitches. That is the gauge. So I ordered wool. Now, as I'm a bit on a budget at the time, because our pool, how do you say that? the pool thingy that runs the pool, like changes the water and filters it and everything. The pumping system, it broke and we had to buy a new one because we had water in our basement. So that cost quite a lot of money, so I'm on a budget. And I found, like browsing through the internet, I was like just typing in merino wool, the gauge I wanted, and beige. And it popped up by Hobbii, which I have never heard before. And I was like, okay, Hobbii France, so it's a French thing. And it was on sale, and I think I paid like €3 per ball, which I was like, that's nothing. So I ordered it. It's the Merino Bliss 90, 100% merino wool superwash wool. I first was hesitant about the superwash because I know it's a bit more flexible than normal wool, but I thought maybe a white vest with me, who's always like managing to spill something on myself, maybe not the worst idea. So I took this yarn, and it has a gauge of 20 stitches, and I think the Creabea was 21 on 5 to 5.5mm needles, and I took a 5mm needle and I made a gauge swatch. So this is much better now, and I think you can see the cables really nicely in this one. So from far away you can see it's a cable vest. In real life it has kind of a bit of a greenish tint to it, but I see that in the camera it looks quite different. So maybe it's just here with the light and the wooden ceiling we have here. But I really like how the cables are like defined. So we have our wool, and I can now officially start the Lauder vest. Yay! So I ordered, I think it's only 50 gram balls, and they have 90 meters on it, so it's not too much of a length on one ball because it's quite a thick yarn. So I ordered 7 or 8 balls to be sure I have enough. This I don't like as much, and it's too thick, but this for the sweater with the bouclé on, maybe that's a candidate. We'll see. But this one will be my Lauder vest, and I'm looking forward to starting this. I think I will start it today. It looks so nice with the cables, and I'm looking forward to doing it. Actually, I'm really looking forward now. Now I have solved, but the gauge she has 21 stitch gauge with a 3.5mm needle. I don't know how this works out in any universe, but I have a 21 stitch gauge now with a thick yarn and a 5mm needle. So I'm a tight knitter, and it's a tight 21 stitch gauge. So 20 stitch gauge, 5 minutes, not that bad. But it's superwash, so it might stretch a little bit more. It's really stretchy, so I don't mind if it's a bit tighter and then it stretches out a bit more. I like a bit more of a more fitted vest. Well, either they are really oversized or they are fitted. I don't like this middle thing where it's neither, and you kind of like, did you wash it too much, or did it grow too much, or is it your mom's vest or something? I don't like that. So either fitted, really fitted, or oversized. I want a fitted vest, so I'm going for that, and really looking forward to start this. So this was the only acquisition I did, or I got because of the budget, and it was really not expensive. The yarn is not the best quality. It splits quite easily, so I really have to look what I'm knitting, but as I'm doing cables, I have to look what I'm knitting anyways, so I don't mind it for that project. For a plain stockinette sweater, I would mind it, because then it's the only reason I have to look at my knitting is because the yarn is splitting. So that I don't like, but for this project now it's fine. And it's a beige, it's a bit of I think you can see now a bit of this greenish tint. It's not like this warm beige. So yeah, it's a vest. I don't have it right on my face. I don't mind it. I would have preferred like a bit of a warmer beige tone, but It's fine. Can't complain for a €3 yarn ball. That was it. That was this episode 24. I will start on my Lauder vest. I will keep on knitting on my sweater I started, my cozy sweater. See you next time. Have a nice day, weekend, week, wherever, whenever you see this. If you want to, you can like and subscribe to my channel. It would really help it. You can leave a comment if you want to. I really love reading comments and answering to them. You can find me on Ravelry as Eillets and on Instagram as knitting_Eillets. So thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye!